Hi everyone, I'm Paulette Morrissey from Tulip Square, and this week I've got a fun block to show you how to make. This one is called the Interlocking Box. This is called Interlocking Block. Kind of cool. It looks a little difficult and it's really, really super easy. I'm going to show you how easy this is, so don't be intimidated by thinking you can't make complex blocks like this, because you can. So we're going to head over to the sewing machine and we're going to make this cool block. And remember, the PDF for this is always in the download. It's always free. It will give you the sizes and quantities and everything that you need to make this block. So we're going to head over there and make this cool block. Okay, to make this block, which is surprisingly easier than it looks, you're going to need a white fabric and two nicely contrasting fabrics. I'm using a lime green and a turquoise for this one. All of the sizes, dimensions, and quantities you need are in a PDF in the description below if you want to download that. It's free anytime. So to start with, we're going to take 4 of the 2 by 3.5 inch turquoise rectangles, and we're just going to make flying geese with them by putting the white squares on the corners, like so. And if you've made flying geese before, you know how to do it. You're going to sew a diagonal line across on one end of each one, like right from here to here. Now you can draw that line down with a pencil and a ruler, like this. You can draw on the backs of all of your white lines if you'd like. Just draw a line and follow that when you sew. Or I've got a little thing on my sewing machine. Let me see if I can swing over here and show it to you. It's very thin, flat black tape, and instead of drawing the lines on, I just line up my needle with the top point up here, and I have the bottom point of the flying goose down here by this left edge of this tape, and when I sew, and then you have a perfect diagonal seam right there. So I'm going to go ahead and put one square on one end of each of 4 of these. Now once you've got them sewn, you're going to cut off this corner with both layers of fabric. You're going to cut that corner off, leaving a 1/4 inch seam, like so. And then I'm going to go and press this towards the corner, like this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with all 4 pieces, and then we'll go to the next step. Now all you do is take another white square, put it in the opposite corner, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to sew a diagonal line right here, and you're going to be ending up going right over the end of that one, and that's fine. When you sew something like this on a diagonal, it always is easier to start along the line that you have a piece of fabric rather than down on this corner where your sewing machine has a tendency to chew up those corners. So start where you've got some fabric and just sew here. So I'm going to go ahead and sew all these, and then I'm going to trim the corners and press them open. Okay, now you've got 4 flying geese like this. We're just going to set those aside for a minute, and now you're going to take 4 of your green rectangles like this, and 4 of your blue or your second color squares, and you're going to make at the beginning of a flying goose. Okay, you're going to put the 2 together, and you're going to sew them diagonally, just like you did for the flying geese, but only on this end. Make sure you don't put it on that end. Put it this way. And I'm going to finish them the same way I finished the flying geese corners. Cut them and press them open. Now you have 4 pieces like this. Now what you're going to do is take one of your flying geese and sew it to here like this. I'm just going to put them together and sew a nice accurate 1/4 inch seam. And I have to stress on this pattern, make sure your seams are accurate so that all the pieces fit together nicely when we're assembling it. So we're doing a nice 1/4 inch seam along this edge. All right, now you have 4 pieces like this, and to the bottom of each of these, we're going to sew a white rectangle just like so. Nice 1/4 inch seam. All right, now you have 4 pieces like this, and we're going to set those aside for a minute and make some other pieces. So next, we're going to take 4 of these, your remaining 4 turquoise, the smaller rectangles, and you're going to start that almost like a flying goose again. But this time you're going to put the white square down here and sew right here. you're going to do that to 4 pieces. Okay, now you've got pieces like this. So what you're going to do is take 4 of your little green squares and you're going to sew them in the opposite corners, like so, almost like you were going to sew a flying goose, but this time you're going to sew it this way. So both are on the same direction, like so. So actually I'm going to spin it around and turn it this way so I can start along this edge with the fabric. And I'm going to sew this way. So I'm going to do that with all 4 of these pieces. So now you've got 4 pieces like this. And what you're going to do is take the green pieces. You should have 4 remaining green rectangles like this. And you're going to sew them right here. Now next to that green rectangle, you're going to sew a white rectangle of the same size. Now with your pieces in this direction, with your diagonal pieces over here, green in the middle, white on the left, you're going to sew the larger white pieces to the top here. So far so good, right? We've got 4 of these little squares like that, and we've got 4 of these pieces like that, and then all we have left is 2 of each of these, and we're going to sew these together in pairs and make a little tiny checkerboard of them. So sew them together in pairs and then sew the pairs together. Whoops. So it looks like that. And you have this piece. Now, if you're waiting for the hard part, there isn't one. We're just putting all the pieces together. So we're going to start with a corner piece and one of these flying geese pieces. So you're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam and put these 2 together. And this is where you want to make sure you line up all of your seams so all of the colors work good when it's put together. So I'm lining up those 2 right there. They meet nicely, and these 2 seams right there. Now you have 2 pieces like this, and you're going to take another one of your squares and turn it from, it was like this, and you're just going to turn it like this, and whoops, and sew it right here. And now you have 2 pieces like this. It's getting exciting, isn't it? Okay, now all you have left is this little checkerboard thing and 2 of these. So what you're going to do is sew that with one of these on each side of it, the white pieces, the white edges towards the checkerboard. And you have a piece like this. Now all you do, which you can probably figure out from by now, is we're going to sew this and this, put this one around, and sew it here. So we'll get that put together. Nice 1/4 inch seams. Watch your seams to line up your colors. And there it is, all done. Pretty cool, isn't it? This makes a 12-inch block once it's put into something. It's 12.5 inches right now. I hope you enjoyed that. And now you know how to make interlocking block. This is kind of a cool block, isn't it? Surprisingly easy to make, as you can see. Just do it step by step. This is going to be a 12-inch block when it's put into a finished piece. Right now it's 12.5 inches. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. Hit the little bell if you want to be notified when we're putting up a new pattern, which is every Saturday, a new pattern. Lots of blocks, lots of new blocks. We got a lot of cool blocks coming up, so we hope you join us every Saturday. We'll see you again next week. Have a good week and happy sewing. Bye-bye.